Hey folks, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome aboard Top Gun Options. Congratulations on getting airborne with the industry-leading FullThrottle or solo Amazon training service. Our mission objective for the past 13 years has been to train tens of thousands of investors, traders of all experience levels, how to dogfight and win, trading equity options successfully in all sorts of markets, up, down, or sideways. So you are getting airborne, embarking on a very, very cool mission. So welcome aboard. We are very fired up to have you. This welcome aboard video is exactly that, welcome aboard, but also to give you a familiarization, kind of a walk around the squadron and answer any questions that you might have. Okay, so here's our homepage right now. And I am logged out because obviously up in the upper right it says member login. So I'm going to click that, and then it will take us to our login page. Okay, so obviously we're going to click login right here, and I'm going to go to my instructor panel, which you're not going to obviously have access to. So let's go to visit the website. So let's just go along the top real quick. Obviously you can log out up here, change your password. On the account page, you can do a lot of cool things. No longer do you have to email support at Top Gun Options to cancel or anything like that, or hey, your credit card failed or anything. It is all here on your account tab. You can update or add a new credit card, view your invoices and your past billing history. You can update your email address. You can manage your subscription. Obviously, you can cancel right here. Okay, so this is your account page, and all your really cool stuff is on here. Across the top, obviously, home gets you to the home page. Our blog actually has some really cool content on it. So check out the daily blog here. This is where I post the industry-leading sit rep or situation report, and also just some really cool options and financial content. So check out, do a drive-through of the blog a couple times a week, and check out all the cool content on the blog page. The services is for folks who aren't members. You can this is kind of a sales page, but if you're interested, you can actually click over here and get one or two or both of the books I've written: COVID Crash, From Panic to Profit, or From Sea Level to Sea Level. How I went from the front lines essentially to the front office. You can get both of those. We'll give you a discount. Just click on that those images. It'll take you to the book page, and I can sign them and get them in the mail for you ASAP. Underneath instructors, obviously the guys that work here as flight instructors, and then underneath memberships, here we go. You should see a bunch, if you signed up for it, of stuff. I see everything, obviously, right now, because shockingly, I'm signed up for everything. So actually, before we jump into all of this stuff, let's go talk about some emails, okay? Top Gun Options, this is how we communicate, right? I send out emails and also texts. Now that you're a member, you will be getting text alerts. So let's go look at one of those first. Here is a standard email alert with a trade on it. Or actually, I didn't pull one of those up. Hang out. Let's go find one of these. Well, let's step through these. On Sunday night from support, you will get the week's flight schedule. It'll tell you what's going on that week, or more importantly, if there's any changes. Hey, Wiz is in Aspen this week, or Thursday's in Washington, something like that. It'll reflect on the Sunday night email that goes out. Before a live trade brief, you will also get an email. Okay, hey, join Wiz, primary live trade brief today at 10 a.m., and you will also get the link to join. So we send out a link before each brief, and also, let's real quick go over underneath memberships. Let's just take a look at the primary live trade brief. We'll go to primary live trade brief, click on it, and up brings the primary live trade brief member page. Okay, let's just start at the top. Up at the top is also where you register for your member sessions, and it also tells you when the PLTB is. Every primary live trade brief is every Tuesday at 10 a.m., okay? Also at the top of every member page is where you can click and get access to all of our proprietary workbooks and the material, okay? The options pocket checklist, the trade plan, and the primary, intermediate, and advanced workbook. I strongly recommend you download this, go to a Kinko's and print it out. I'm a guy who needs to print stuff out and grab a pen and a highlighter. That's how I work. But this is a typical member page right here. This is our most recent primary live trade brief we just did today. So you can click on it. So that's the most recent one. The next one is underneath that. So obviously the newest recording and trades are at the top of each member page. So you just click on that one, and it will take you to that individual brief. It'll show you the trade that I covered today, which is printing money, by the way. As the S&P 500 rolls over here. All right, that page aged out, but the S&P is rolling over here, and we have a burner trade on. So we put this trade on this morning. There's the actual trade. There are the metrics. And then at the bottom of the page is the replay. It takes, I don't know, about 20, 30 minutes after a live trade brief for it to render, and then I post it at the bottom of each page. Okay, so that's underneath memberships, and then you just click on whichever one you want to see. Solo Amazon, if you're in the Solo Amazon service, you click on that. It says Solo Amazon every Monday at 10 a.m. You can click here to register for your sessions, and then same thing. There's the most recent brief. That's the week before, and so on and so on. Okay, so that's underneath member content. All right, let me go back to some of the emails, though, because some of you might have come from our email marketing, right? We have strategic partners that email for our services, and I return the favor and email for them. So this is an example of a marketing email, okay? Whenever you see sponsored in any of our emails, if you like that content, you can click on it. But those are products that are sponsored, right? They're not from me. Here's how you're a little bit of a hint here. Anything that's red and a bigger font, that's how I'm giving you a little bit of a wink and a nod that this is TGO content, okay? Same thing like kind of down here. Psychedelics or this. Anything with sponsored, you don't have to click on. You can if you want. I mean, these are good products and good offers. I just go out of my way to say, hey, this ain't necessarily TGO content. This is sponsored. Do yourself a favor. This is not spam. If you unsubscribe from this, you are going to end up in Top Gun Options email hell. Okay, because we send out emails, right, to our members with trades and stuff like that. And if you end up clicking one of these and saying, oh, this is clearly spam, now we're in trouble. Okay, so do not, if you don't like the content in that email, don't click on it, but just don't click spam, because then you're going to be in email purgatory, and it's really hard to get out of it, okay? So this is an example of just me content, right? This is just, hey, man, here's my trade from this morning. By the way, the Max Afterburner podcast just dropped, and here's a sit rep. So you can tell content that's pure TGO, and then content that's got a little bit of marketing in it, okay? All right, so speaking of that, shameless plug. If you're new to Top Gun Options, hopefully you know that I'm also the founder and chairman of what is called the No Fallen Heroes Foundation. We are a 501c3 dedicated to reducing just the national tragedy of veteran suicide. Anywhere from 20 to 40-ish veterans per day take their own lives, and I'm trying to do something about that. I bring that up because I also have a podcast that's in the top 2.5% of all podcasts on the planet. There's over 3 million podcasts on the planet, and this is ranked up there. So you can listen to the Max Afterburner podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, or wherever cool kids listen to podcasts. So shameless plug. All right, let's get back to the member content and stuff like that. We also send out text alerts. So ladies and gentlemen, warning Will Robinson, if you signed up for a Top Gun Options service and you used an office number, you're not going to get text alerts. 99.9% of the folks that email support and say, hey, I'm not getting text alerts, and are all angry, it's like, well, and then 99.9% of the time it's, oh, geez, sorry, we used our office number. Not going to get text alerts to office numbers, so please, please, please make sure we have the right phone number on file, okay? And I think you can actually update that underneath accounts, okay? Some other cool stuff underneath, the membership area here. You have got to, if you signed up for it, if you're in Full Throttle, you get access to it. If you're in Solo Amazon and you took I think it was $195 upgrade, that's it. You have got to watch the Full Throttle training. Watch it once, watch it twice, watch it 50 times. You're going to learn something new in each one. If you're relatively newer, scroll back and find a session 1. Full Throttle Options Session 1. Trade plans, intel sources. There is a ton of Full Throttle content on here. These are all about an hour to an hour and a half each of incredible content. spreads, calls, puts, iron condors, you name it, you have got to get in here and watch the Full Throttle training. I try and knock these out a couple times a year now based on my schedule and keep this updated. But to be honest with you folks, an iron condor was an iron condor 20 years ago, and it'll be the same iron condor 20 years from now. But what's going on in the market around when I do these changes a little bit. So I do my best to try and knock these out and keep them current, but very busy schedule. But the current ones in here are worth their weight in gold, okay? Another incredible resource for you to partake of is the Ready Room. Now, the Ready Room of a fighter squadron is where we hang out. It's the squadron living room, okay? Before you go flying, after you go flying, I learned so much about flying and fighting the F-18 in the Ready Room, okay? So click the Ready Room and get in here, and you got a question, a concern in between briefs, come and ask me. Come and ask your fellow members. That is what is called the Ready Room. That is our online kind of interactive forum, okay? Also, please, you're in a training environment, make sure you are paper trading, okay? In a training environment, you should be paper trading. You can open a paper trading account. You can go to etrade.com/TopGun, and I did a, just ask me, pretty damn good job of negotiating better commission rates, okay? So go to etrade.com/TopGun and open a paper trading account, because in a training environment, you should not be putting any real capital at risk, okay? And let's kind of talk about the environments right now here at Top Gun Options. Let me give you kind of a squadron brief. This is what we look like. On the left side of this Chinese wall is our training environment, and we have a couple products. One is called Solo Amazon, where we only trade what? Yeah, exactly. Amazon, the Solo Amazon service. Every Monday at 10 a.m., we just trade Amazon. We call it Trading the Death Star. It's potentially the only stock you need to own. We also have what is called Full Throttle. Okay, that's 3 live trade briefs, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 10 a.m., and then whenever I do it, a couple times a year, I do 8 Full Throttle training sessions. You get email, text alerts. You also get that with Solo Amazon, obviously, but those are kind of 2 separate services. But in a training environment, make sure you are paper trading. Now, when you're really ready to get airborne and start potentially deploying some capital on the execution side, we have a couple investment clubs. Right? What's an investment club? I'm sure if you watch CNBC, you've heard of like the Beardstown ladies, right? They sit around, they knit, they talk about stocks, and then after they're done knitting a sweater, they all say, okay, great, let's buy Apple. And they all do that in one account. They all kind of vote, and whoever the commanding officer of the day is kind of fires their trade. We don't do that. We have what are called SDICs. I call them S's because instead of a club, it's a squadron. Self-directed investment squadron. One is called the Hunters, and then Max Afterburner is the ultimate, the most elite here at Top Gun Options investment clubs, and I'll explain the difference between both of those in a second. But that's kind of the landscape here at Top Gun Options. Here's what the Full Throttle live trade briefs look like. The primary brief is every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Weekly options every Wednesday at 10 a.m. And then AR and our weekly debrief is every Thursday at 10 a.m. If you're kind of a skier, you look at those and say, oh, okay, intermediate, advanced, and basic. Nah, not really. I just chose those colors and images. AR, essentially longer dated trades. Usually we're trying to be a little bit more conservative, looking further down range. Weekly options, as the name implies, very tactical trading. These trades expire. Hell, we can be in and out of them in 5-10 minutes, or we can hold them to that Friday's expiration. And then primary is kind of a mixture of both of those. We trade the front months and then also some trades for a little further out in time. Reminder, Solo Amazon is Solo Amazon. It's not included in Full Throttle. So if you look at everything, it kind of looks like this. We add Solo Amazon, and it's Monday at 10 a.m. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 10 a.m. is everything we do here at Top Gun Options, okay? And the only folks who have access to all this stuff are either lifetime or Full Throttle members who also buy Solo Amazon, okay? So you can do that. Just email support at Top Gun Options. So let's go take a look at the Hunters first, the Hunters Self-Directed Investment Squadron. Right now, as of me doing this video, 92. There are 92 folks in our Hunters, man. And this is actually what it looks like for me. This is my instructor dashboard. I can see who's online, who's doing other stuff. Let me show you what it's going to look like for you. Underneath memberships, you go to Hunters SDIS. Again, like I said, SDIS stands for Self-Directed Investment Squadron. Okay, so you click on that, and this is actually what it looks like for you all. So there you go. This is a little bit, actually it's a little bit cooler looking than my instructor panel, but that's what it looks like. You can actually click this little speaker thing on, so anytime there's a trade in here or a post, it gives you a little bit of alert. But folks, I put all of my trades in here, opening and closing. You get this immediately. You do not have to wait for a text or an email alert, anything like that. Here's a perfect example. This morning, we bought some puts on the S&P 500, and look at this. About 2 hours later, hey, going to take 80%, $1,400, and then reload, boom, boom, boom. Okay, so every opening and closing trade is posted in here, and I also post intelligence wherever I see it and stuff like that. Okay, so that is called the Hunters. All right, and that, ladies and gentlemen, you head to go.topgunoptions.com/FT-Hunters, and you can upgrade into this. It's $29.95 for a year or $497 per month. Obviously, if you did quick math as a political science major that I am, you're like, wait a minute, that's about $6,000 a year if I did it monthly, but $3,000 if I do it. Yes, if you do the annual, you save 50%. So just email support@TopGun Options, and we can upgrade you into the Hunters here. Now, that's the Hunters. Boom. Here is the Mac Daddy of them all, Max Afterburner. This is on GroupMe. So it's an app on your phone. I could be sitting on a chairlift. I can be sitting on the beach. I can be getting ready to jump in our L-39 fighter jet, and I'm posting trades in here and intel. There's two threads. There's the Max Afterburner trades only thread, where guess what we only do in here? Post trades. Here you go, Tina. Nice shot, Wiz. Boom. All my trades go in here, folks. Everybody else's trades go in here. This is great. And then this is the intel and commentary thread. Post some jokes in here, some intel about psychedelics, volatility. This is our kind of open communication channel, and here's our trades only. As of today, we have, let me refresh that. There's not zero in there. I think we have like 215, 200 and, let's see how close I am. 219. I'm going to go 219 for total members. I don't know. We had a good 220. Damn it. We have 220 members in our Max Afterburner lifetime group, and this is an incredible group. Folks, I tell people that this is the best hedge fund I have seen in over 3 decades in the investing world. How? Because, ladies and gentlemen, all 220 of these people, whose money are they trading? Theirs. Their own personal money, folks. When I fired somebody at the firm I worked at in Chicago that lost $4 million in the blink of an eye trading a biotech stock, as I escorted him out of the firm, good dude. I had beers with the guy. He was a buddy type of guy, good kind of Chicago guy. I'm like, dude, what were you thinking? He's like, wasn't my money, Wiz. And he ended up starting work at a competing firm down the street like a week later. So, ladies and gentlemen, these people in here, their give a shit meter is on high because they're trading their own money. So if you're interested in becoming a lifetime member, obviously you get access to everything here at Top Gun Options. It's always included now and forever. We're getting ready to launch an options on futures product, which will not be inexpensive for folks who aren't in lifetime. You get everything. And I'm one of the... I am the only guy in the industry, folks, who lets you give your membership to a family member. Because we have a lot of folks, hey, Wiz, I'm older, I'm retired, I ain't going to be around forever. Give it to your daughter, your son, whatever. I will allow you to transfer your lifetime membership to a loved one. Isn't that awesome? That is worth the price of admission right there. So, folks, this is awesome. I'm very passionate about what I do, very passionate about Top Gun Options. If you have any questions, you always post them in the Ready Room. I wouldn't want to give individual investment advice. I am here to train you, to teach you. You are a single-seat fighter pilot. You are a single-seat trader. You sign for your jet. You sign for your portfolio, not me. But if you do have questions in between the briefs, throw them in the Ready Room, okay? If you're in the Hunters or the Max Afterburner Lifetime group, you obviously can ask me because I'm right there. Obviously, I need to update this. Our website just got updated. I don't know who this guy is. I'm like, is that me signed in? Clearly, I need to insert about teacher. So that's not me. That's a younger looking, not as handsome dude. So this is your welcome aboard brief. Welcome aboard. Take control of your financial future. Get in here underneath Full Throttle and start watching your training. Get in there, download the primary, intermediate, and advanced manuals, and hit it hard. We have an incredible community here. If you have any questions or concerns, ask your fellow squadron mates either in the Ready Room, in the Hunters, or in the Max Afterburner, and we are dedicated to your success. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. Fights on. Namaste and basi basi.